Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor.
He can make it real in a Chevy.
Save big money on a car or truck. Friendly service, folks you can trust. We put good people behind the wheel. Jim Taylor Chevrolet, making it real. Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor, he can make it real.
Rayville, Louisiana. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Computer trouble. Don't you hate it? This is Shellie from All Things Southern, and when I have computer issues, I call Wintersmith Computers, your local go-to computer retailer. Let Wintersmith help you find just the right machine, and then take a deep breath and let them keep your systems up and running. Bring your problem in or take advantage of their on-site service. It's the only way this bell rolls. Wintersmith Computers, just off I-20 at the corner of Well Road and Cypress Street in West Monroe.
For over 30 years, Simmons Sporting Goods has been outfitting folks for hundreds of miles. With the biggest in-store selection and original price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best price possible. There's over 70,000 square feet filled with nearly 100 stands, thousands of firearms and bows, an acre of camo. You name it, we've got it. You can even get 12 months same as cash and lunch from our Duck Blind restaurant. Visit Simmons Sporting Goods in Bastrop, Louisiana or SimmonsSportingGoods.com.
Welcome to All Things Southern Live, bringing you the charm and heritage of the South. ATS Live is brought to you by Jim Taylor Chevrolet in Rayville and Ruston.
He was swinging.
And now, here's your host, the author of Heart Wide Open, the book Corey and Missy Robertson say will encourage everyone to draw closer to God, Shellie Tomlinson.
Yay! Big crowd. Man, a lot of people showed up today to see you, Shellie.
Did they? I heard all that. That's always so nice to hear all that approval. That's not canned, is it?
No, those are the folks out in the parking lot.
Oh, okay, good.
Showed up. They want an autograph when you leave today.
I'll buy that. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. Happy Monday.
Great. Happy Monday to you. I'm just delighted to be up in the middle of 2015, and it's crazy. When I was a little girl, I thought 2015 we would have, like, I don't know, phones on our hip and things like that. Oh, that's right. We do have phones on our hip.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Just about everything that was on Star Trek has turned out to be come true, except the transporter. I was reading that on Facebook the other day.
And they're probably working on that?
Computers running everything, communicators, lasers.
Isn't it crazy? We're like, here's George Jetson.
working. Remember the computer from Star Trek?
And then I was thinking about the computer from, what was her name, Rosie? Rosie from George Jetson's? I watched all that highbrow entertainment.
Yeah, Rosie was the cleaning lady robot.
I liked her. I want one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that hasn't quite come true yet.
I need a Rosie, especially right now. I really need a Rosie right now. The beloved husband and I are in the middle of some remodeling that we didn't. Let's just skip a lot of details and say we didn't intend to, but here it is, and so we're like in the middle of it. And yeah, I could use a Rosie in a bad way. There's like mortar dust an inch thick in Shelley's abode.
When are these politicians going to learn that there's always a camera on them?
Who did what now? Where?
Did you see Chris Christie's in a little trouble up around New York in the New Jersey area?
I didn't see that video, but apparently he was doing some sort of happy dance.
He was in Jerry Jones's suite for the big playoff game this past weekend.
He did not look like that mayor up in Canada, right? Please tell me he didn't look like that.
Bad.
Okay.
But, boy, he was sucking up to Jerry Jones and jumping. See, the Cowboys are the Patriots, arch rival.
Like ding, ding, ding. I get it.
Those teams, the Cowboys.
Right. That was like enemy territory, and he's up in there dancing the chicken dance with them.
They're high-fiving, all hugging. They're doing group hugs and everything.
I see.
And you would think they would always know there's a camera on them. So.
You would think, but they are continually surprised by that.
So I don't think it'll be as bad as the little rift between the NYPD and the mayor.
Whoa.
But Might be a little bit.
It may be, maybe something like that. So will it be as big a political moment? That is the question.
No.
You don't think?
No.
It won't be like one of those, who was the guy that was in the cannon? Who am I thinking about? Ran for president.
In the cannon?
Wasn't he in a cannon?
Shot himself out of a cannon? Is
no,
that what you mean?
Maybe he was in Dukakis, a tank. That's what he was in.
Oh, he was in a tank. Okay.
He was in a tank. Remember? That was kind of like took him down. So it won't be a Dukakis moment.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So anyway, since we're on sports, I'll give you a little update. It's going to be Oregon and Ohio State playing for the national championship later in the week.
Which means I won't have a dog in that fight.
Me neither. The two college football playoff games played on New Year's Day were the most watched cable shows ever.
And poor Alabama. Wait a minute. Let me mourn a little bit. Wait, I'm trying to find it. I have some Alabama listeners, so I'm trying to find that proper moment of mourning. I can't. I'm reaching. I can't find it.
I see two people from Alabama listening online right now.
Right now. I can't find that moment.
You just can't find it.
I can't.
Maybe by the end of the show you can.
Okay.
You can
I'm
show
sure
them a little sympathy.
the gravity of it is going to hit me by the end of the show, and I'm sure I won't be grinning like this. I sure I won't.
So you wouldn't rather have Alabama than Ohio State in there?
I tried to say go, but Bama, why I couldn't.
So when the Tigers are out, then you're not SEC. You're
no.
Alabama.
See,
okay.
I am SEC girl. It's just that Saban.
Except Alabama.
Saban.
Okay. Oh, it's
it
the Saban.
all turns on the Saban Satan. Saban thing.
Yeah, the Saban connection. Okay, I got
all
it.
turns there. Yeah.
So I guess let's see, the Ohio State Alabama game took the crown with 28.2 million viewers, and the Oregon Florida State Rose Bowl finished closely behind with 28.1 million viewers.
Whoa, that's a lot of people.
So I guess you'd have to believe at least 27.9 million of those had to be happy to see Florida State go down.
You would think.
But they say Jameis Winston's going to be okay. He's displayed leadership skills and desire in the crushing defeat.
True. And I think he also had money on Oregon.
He probably did.
That may be why he is okay. Okay. But a lot of us, Mike, are not okay today with the passing of Ellie Mae.
Oh.
I loved Ellie Mae in that cement pond that she was so fond of, and all her critters hanging around her. But she has gone on. Actress Donna Douglas, who played Ellie Mae Clampett, has died at the age of 81 or 82, and the internet is iffy on that number. That leaves Jethro.
Max Baer?
The only surviving member of the whole entire Beverly Hillbillies cast, which means apparently the curse is true, because...
The curse?
Yeah. Everybody on the show that was on the show died.
Well, Shellie, they'd all be like in their 90s or 100s by now.
Okay, whatever, Mike. If you're going to try to explain it away.
I'll tell you one thing, though. That girl worked magic in a pair of jeans long before Daisy Duke or Brooke Shields came along.
Oh, Ellie Mae. May she rest in peace.
That's for sure. All righty.
Well, we got National Diet Resolution Week.
Oh, well, how does that work?
Well, apparently it's time for all of us to confront that 800-pound gorilla in the room, especially if that 800-pound gorilla is us. A lot of people blame their inability to lose weight. You know what? They blame it on their lack of exercise.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
I blame it on gravity.
Gravity's,
the real culprit here.
I think so, too. I think it makes you crazy with all the diet plans out there. Are you tired of seeing Marie Osmond? Just a random question.
I never get tired of seeing Marie Osmond.
You never get tired. Okay. I think they should do new commercials. I get really tired when I see her over and over and over talking about the same pounds.
Right.
Like, give us a new look. Tell us something we don't know.
So, she lost like 50 pounds on that Nutrisystem thing. Only thing I ever lost on TV diet plans was some money.
This is true. Hey, I did laugh at it, though, and I did that on cue because I'm a professional.
Yeah.
And this is Someday We'll Laugh About It week.
Really?
So,
Okay.
are you impressed the way I did that right there?
I am. That was a great segue.
Thank you. I reached for it.
You have made it to the big leagues as far as segue classification.
I don't know that we could actually say that yet because that's like one segue out of 100 times that I just turn right, because a lot of times I'm talking and I just turn right. So I don't know that I'm there yet, but I tried.
How can this be, though? It's someday we'll laugh about it week, but today is Blue Monday.
Because they aren't listening to All Things Southern Live.
Well,
that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, if you're with us on All Things Southern Live, it is not Blue Monday. So y'all stick around because we're going to have a great, big, fantastic show. I've got a wonderful guest lined up from us from Focus on the Family. Dr. Jared Pingleton will be in, Mike, at the bottom of the hour.
All right.
And before then, because I do like to cover all my bases here at All Things Southern Live, I will be sharing the story of Man Be Looney.
Man Be Looney.
That will be right after the break, so y'all don't go anywhere.
All right, we're coming right back. Take it away, kids.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Computer trouble. Don't you hate it? This is Shellie from All Things Southern, and when I have computer issues, I call Wintersmith Computers, your local go-to computer retailer. Let Wintersmith help you find just the right machine, and then take a deep breath and let them keep your systems up and running. Bring your problem in or take advantage of their on-site service. It's the only way this bell rolls. Wintersmith Computers, just off I-20 at the corner of Well Road and Cypress Street in West Monroe.
For over 30 years, Simmons Sporting Goods has been outfitting folks for hundreds of miles. With the biggest in-store selection and original price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best price possible. There's over 70,000 square feet filled with nearly 100 stands, thousands of firearms and bows, an acre of camo. You name it, we've got it. You can even get 12 months same as cash and lunch from our Duck Blind restaurant. Visit Simmons Sporting Goods in Bastrop, Louisiana or SimmonsSportingGoods.com.
Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor.
He can make it real in a Chevy.
Save big money on a car or truck. Friendly service, folks you can trust. We put good people behind the wheel. Jim Taylor Chevrolet, making it real. Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor, he can make it real.
Rayville, Louisiana. Chevrolet, an American Revolution.
Shellie here, belle of All Things Southern, and I love shopping for my grandchildren at the Children's Shop in Monroe and Ruston. With a baby registry, gift wrapping, and layaway service, the Children's Shop makes gift buying a cinch, and their custom-made hair bows makes every little girl feel like the belle of the ball. Discover the Children's Shop, 18.
All right. Hey, it's great to hear the Children's Shop back on the air with us.
Yay, I'm excited about that. We've picked up a new sponsor, and the Children's Shop has been with me in the past, and so I'm delighted to have them back. They went through a little transition and moved their store, and so they weren't advertising for a while. But now, Mike, you can find them here in Monroe on 2250 Tower Drive.
Yeah.
And they're also still in Ruston, and so we're thrilled to have the Children's Shop back.
All right. Well, good deal. That's over by Nukes, right? Over in that area.
It is.
Okay.
It is in that area. And great big hello to one of mine and your friends, Kathy Davis. Tells me online that she is listening in. And so Kathy was instrumental in getting me moved from the other station. I'm not ever sure if I'm supposed to say station names to this station.
Okay.
So hi, Kathy Davis. She's in Dallas
Kathy.
now. Love to have her.
Where is she now?
She's in Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. Wow.
She's in Dallas. The Big D.
The Big D. All right. Well, good deal.
That's where my sissy is, Rhonda. Arlene, if you're listening, hello. You did know my sisters and I, our middle names rhyme. Have I ever told you that?
I think I may have read it in a book or something.
Cynthia Darlene, Rhonda Arlene, and Shellie Charlene. And Mama could say that.
And she planned that, no doubt.
She planned that, no doubt. And
Sure.
she could say that much faster than I just
bet.
did.
I bet she could.
Especially if we were in trouble. But speaking of being in trouble, the guy in today's story that I alluded to earlier may be in a bit of a trouble. Now, with the hustle and the bustle of the holidays behind us, I know that we're all looking for ways to relax, right?
Sure.
And, take a little bit of that pressure off. Well, apparently, Mike, we do not all relax the same way. for illustration purposes, I have Exhibit A. I have read about a Chinese man who likes to relax by eating live snakes and washing them down with beer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Does he chew them up first or just swallow them whole?
Well, I'm not privy to that information.
Are they poisonous or non-poisonous?
I mean, these are things we need to know, right?
Eat them alive. Well, I've seen Bear Grylls do that.
Yeah, just he consumes them all, live snakes. Right. This is relaxing to him.
If that's your thing.
I call him Man B. Looney. That's not his real name.
Okay.
I know it sounds like a real name, Man B. Looney, but it's not. Apparently, though, he started this unusual habit 10 years ago on a bet.
Wow.
I'm thinking like a double dog dare gone bad.
Probably,
something like that. But he has now, and I'm quoting right here, became addicted to eating live snakes.
Really?
Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
It is as well. But I find myself in the unlikely and unique position of siding with PETA on this one.
You really?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but I think they may have released their most carefully worded and articulate statement to date when they said,
"Yeah,
eating snakes ain't right."
They said, well, you've had translated it.
Yeah, I did.
Southern speak.
I did. The only thing stranger than eating live snakes is becoming addicted to the practice, in my humble opinion. Mm-hmm. I suppose Man B. Looney may have gone through the clinical stages of abuse. Mm. I might talk to my guest about this because he is a psychologist and he knows things. Mm-hmm. So he may recognize the clinical stages of abuse. Mm-hmm. The first one that I'm aware of is minimizing the problem. And that would be, for instance, say, Man B. Looney saying, it's just one itty bitty snake. Mm-hmm. Everybody does it.
Sure.
Okay. And then maybe he uses rationalization. Mm-hmm. That's like, it's been a hard day. I deserve to eat a live snake.
Right, right.
Or he could be going with denial. Mm-hmm. Flat out, I don't have a problem. I can quit eating live snakes anytime I want to. Mm-hmm. The good news is that he has admitted it's an addiction. I'm here to say that's always the first step in getting help.
I've always heard that.
Yeah, you have to admit it first. Sure. So the bad news, Mike, you ready for this? Uh-huh. He has apparently passed on this predisposition to this unusual form of relaxation to his son.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oriental Today writes that Man B. Looney Jr., again, not his real name, has already eaten 8 live snakes this year alone.
On the 5th day of the year? That's more than one a day.
Yeah, that's a hard user right there, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this may be the last straw for Miss Looney, who is conspicuously absent in the story. Mm-hmm. Just the female side of things, but I'm thinking she may have said something like, I'll be a monkey's uncle if I'm going to stay around and pick up snake skins after the two of y'all. I don't know where the story's going, but I hope they get the help they need, Mike.
Yeah.
If they can't, if they cannot beat this thing, I know of a nice dock where they could sit and relax like nobody's business. Mm-hmm.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. So I guess I'll remain the same. Listen, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of a bay, watching the tide roll away.
Well, there's another one that left us much too early. He died in a plane crash, didn't he?
I think he did. But I mean, like, that was making me kind of chill on out. Did you see me just kind of like chilling on out over here? I didn't even have to eat a live snake. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just got to get the right music.
Well, hey, I didn't finish my story about Blue Monday.
Oh, well, let's go back to that.
Yeah, today's Blue Monday. It's considered the most depressing day of the year, and here's the rationale.
Okay.
See, the holidays are over.
Right.
People are returning to work and school.
Right.
The weather's miserable. Mm-hmm. And then you add to that, a lot of people are Saints fans.
Oh, there you go.
So it's a...
It's circling the drain there.
In fact, the weather's going to be so cold later in the week that Blue Thursday might actually be if you leave for work and forget to put your pants on. That might be Blue Thursday, because it's going down to like 8 degrees or something.
That's a whole nother way to look at the blue thing, Mike. I'm following you there, though.
Yeah.
It is going to get that kind of cold. It's getting really cold, apparently, from coast to coast.
Yes, it is.
In fact, so cold that I saw a video on the Weather Channel of people sledding in Dallas.
In Dallas?
Mm-hmm. The kids sledding said it was the first time a lot of them had ever played in the snow, and it was exciting. Is it really snowing in Dallas already?
Yeah, it was snowing, yeah.
Have you ever noticed that snow is always more exciting if you live someplace that does not snow? Mm-hmm. Like if you live where it snows, it's not that exciting.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, oh brother, here it
comes again.
It's starting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you live in Texas and you have a sled, what are you doing with a sled to begin with?
That's a good preparation right there.
Yeah, it's kind of like living in Miami with mountain climbing gear.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You know, just in case a mountain pops up.
There you go. You can't be too prepared.
You got to be ready for things like that, just in case a mountain pops up. Hey, I got a strange New Year's factoid for you that I dug up.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the weird fact about the New Year.
All right.
The first Monday after New Year's is usually the day in the United States when the most divorces are filed.
Really?
Yes. Apparently, you know, when we were talking about that losing weight thing earlier, apparently some people's idea of losing the extra baggage, the extra weight, is different than others.
I see what you mean.
You know,
there.
you can lose, 200 pounds, roughly.
Yeah, either that or somebody really didn't like their Christmas gift.
That could happen.
How many times do I have to tell you? Yeah, it's a Dyson, but it's a high-end Dyson. It's still a vacuum cleaner.
Such a male argument.
What can I do?
Such a male argument.
What do you want from me?
So will you be going to see speaking of the male argument, you know, is all, right? All y'all's hormones and all that going on?
Of course. Yeah.
So how about the Sylvester Stallone news?
Oh.
He is coming out with a new and last, or so they say.
Of course.
Or so they say, movie that he is going to direct and star in the last Rambo movie. This one is called Rambo 5.
Really?
The title. I think they tried some other titles, like with a focus group, like Rambo Tired Blood, Rambo Iron Poor Blood.
Yeah. Now, I think instead of, in this version, instead of taking out a terrorist camp with an attack helicopter, he takes out a bingo parlor with a weaponized hover chair.
Oh, that's wrong. Oh, kudos to him, though. Hey, y'all don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to be visiting with Dr. Jared Pingleton from Focus on the Family.
Sounds like a plan. You're listening to ATS Live.
Don't you hate it? This is Shellie from All Things Southern, and when I have computer issues, I call Wintersmith Computers, your local go-to computer retailer. Let Wintersmith help you find just the right machine, and then take a deep breath and let them keep your systems up and running. Bring your problem in or take advantage of their on-site service. It's the only way this bell rolls. Wintersmith Computers, just off I-20 at the corner of Well Road and Cypress Street in West Monroe.
For over 30 years, Simmons Sporting Goods has been outfitting folks for hundreds of miles. With the biggest in-store selection and original price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best price possible. There's over 70,000 square feet filled with nearly 100 stands, thousands of firearms and bows, an acre of camo. You name it, we've got it. You can even get 12 months same as cash and lunch from our Duck Blind restaurant. Visit Simmons Sporting Goods in Bastrop, Louisiana or SimmonsSportingGoods.com.
Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor.
You can make it real in a Chevy.
Save big money on a car or truck. Friendly service, folks you can trust. We put good people behind the wheel. Jim Taylor Chevrolet, making it real. Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor, he can make it real.
Rayville, Louisiana. Chevrolet, an American Revolution.
Shellie here, belle of all things Southern, and I love shopping for my grandchildren at the Children's Shop in Monroe and Ruston. With the baby registry, gift wrapping, and layaway service, the Children's Shop makes gift buying a cinch, and their custom-made hair bows makes every little girl feel like the belle of the ball. Discover the Children's Shop.
Discover the Children's Shop, now located on beautiful Tower Drive in Monroe.
That's right. I was over there during the holidays, and I got my little grands some of the cutest little outfits. And they have exceptional salespeople to help you, and they do really cool things like remember the sizes if you have forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would do that.
Right.
Okay, but maybe I have. Hey, is that my guest on the line?
That's Jared.
All righty, folks. I'm excited to introduce y'all to Dr. Jared Pingleton from Focus on the Family, who will be with me and Dr. Jo Neal Kirby and all the Duck Commander women and a host of other fine speakers and authors at the Heart to Home Conference. That's coming up February the 6th and 7th right here in our hometown. And welcome, Dr. Jared.
Thank you, Shellie. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
All right. Now, do you mind, it's very much of a Southern thing if I call you Dr. Jared? Is that going to be okay?
Not at all. That's very fine. I appreciate that. And do you prefer Miss Shellie?
You can go straight with Shellie. You can do that. Will be fine with me. I am so stinking excited about this conference, aren't you?
I am. It sounds absolutely wonderful. I'm very excited and looking forward to being with you all.
Well, we are as
y'all.
Y'all. That was good. That was very good. You just slid right on into that y'all. I was proud of you there. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're going to be here, and I'm going to learn a lot more about your background and everything that you've got going on, Dr. Jared, when we get to spend some time together in person. But before then, for my listeners, tell me a little bit about your work and your credentials and what you're doing at Focus on the Family.
Well, thank you, Shellie. I am honored to serve, I think, the finest counseling team of Christian counselors anywhere. We have 16 licensed clinicians and ordained chaplains that serve about 150 to 200 of our constituents per day. We do that much counseling in our department. And it's just an honor to serve the body of Christ, and we deal with everything you can think of, from alcoholism and substance abuse to abuse of children, to marital concerns, to depression, to loneliness, to theological dilemmas, church splits. We deal just with everything you can think of.
I read in your bio that you're, as I'm listening to you describe all these people that you are able to help, I'm thinking that you are very credentialed and capable because you have training as a clinical psychologist and as a minister.
Correct.
So you can address all of those hurting people. Tell me a little bit about your call, Dr. Jared. How did you get to Focus on the Family? Were you trained for, what came first, the psychologist or the minister? I guess is the question that I'm asking.
Good question. Actually, both at about the same time. I'm actually a third-generation minister, but I was also called to counseling ministry, and so that, kind of progressively developed. But I was I've served on the staff of a couple of large churches and headed up Christian counseling centers in those through the years, but the majority of my work for 38 years was as a private practice Christian psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
And my specialty is integrating biblical truth with the principles of clinical psychology and helping people heal and grow and develop. I've also done a lot of writing and speaking and those kinds of other ministries, but I've been now at Focus almost 2 years, and
Mm-hmm.
as I said again, I'm just having the most kind of dream place of service that I could ever imagine. It's not just a dream job. It, I think, is really the ultimate calling that God has had for my life, and I'm just thrilled to serve. As a matter of fact, I just was in a meeting with my immediate supervisor, the vice president of Focus on the Family, and
Mm-hmm.
I just said to her, I said, I think last year was the funnest year of my life. I've just been so honored and blessed and privileged to serve here, and I'm having the time of my life.
I really do understand that. I'm smiling as I'm listening to you because as Joe Neal and I have talked about this conference coming up and different exciting things that are developing with it, and she will look at me with much like shock on her face. I can't believe we're actually getting to do this. And my response to her every time is, hey, don't look at me. I don't even know why Jesus has let me be a part of it. I mean, I'm just thrilled, just to be a part of it. It feels like, or it sounds to me like that's how you feel about being at Focus on the Family. Just thrilled to be there. I love that you talk about integrating biblical truth with the principles of psychology, because you're talking to a word girl and just all about the Word. I mean, the Word is just, it's been the salvation of my head, my heart, my home. It's health to all my flesh. It is who I am. So give me, if you could, like an example that I was intrigued when I read that. What would be an example of integrating biblical truth with the principle of clinical psychology?
Sure. Great question, Shellie. I think sometimes we try to make things too complicated and too difficult. But, for example, when Jesus is talking about guilt, it's never referred to in the psychological sense, but in the judicial sense. We can be driving 37 miles an hour in a 35 zone and not feel guilty, but we are. And yet we can also be driving 33 in a 35 and see a police officer down the street and instinctively slow up. Why? Because we're guilty? No, but because we feel guilty.
Right.
And so, guilt is, for example, in the Bible, never ever once referred to as a motivator or as a reason to change. Now, conviction is different, and that's what the Holy Spirit, through the Word, helps us look at our fallenness in the light and through the lens of the truth of Scripture, which never changes. And so there's where we can have hope and find comfort and experience rest and peace and health.
Oh, and so important for people to know the difference. I remember raising my own children and teaching them the difference of the voice of condemnation, and that when the Lord convicts you and brings something that He wants to deal with before you, that He doesn't condemn, and that how you recognize the difference there. And so I think that is so important. I also wanted to speak to you a minute. I'm moving our conversation along because I'm always having to be aware of our clock that is ticking away. And I want to talk some about your innovative book, Making Magnificent Marriages. Now, most of the time, it's my practice not to interview someone about their book when I have not read it, but you and I got this interview together really quickly in advance of the conference, and so I'm intrigued by it, but having not had an opportunity to read Making Magnificent Marriages, could you kind of give us the premise of it or speak a little bit to that?
I'd be glad to, Shellie. Thank you. There's a zillion books on Christian marriage, many of which are good. But as a clinician, I'm very practical, and I want to make sure that I can help people with what I believe works and what I've seen proven through working with hundreds and hundreds of couples over the years to see what works. And so I know that many good books are never read. That's another problem. They're purchased, but they're never read. And it's kind of like, if people don't read their Bible or stick it under their pillow, that's really not going to absorb into their soul very deeply or thoroughly. And so
Absolutely.
What I wanted to do was make a book that was really going to be a tool set, a toolbox for couples that would help them. And so what I decided to do is take like the 12 most, I think, relevant and salient topics in marriage, like communication, trust, a spiritual foundation, etc., and do a chapter for each of those topics in the book. But before that, I started to think about how we could make this contemporary and relevant, and so we developed a free online assessment with its own website called RelationshipHealthScore.com, where couples can go before they read the book, or before they go to a Sunday school class or a small group that's using the book, or a seminar or a retreat where the book is used. And it takes about 10 minutes, 12 minutes to go through and answer the questions on a 1 to 10 scale as to where they see all of those 12 areas being relevant and real in their marriage right now. Then they go through a second time and answer it the way they think their spouse would answer the questions. Well, their mate does the same thing, so they get a free relationship analysis and inventory of where their marriage is. And so if they have 2 or 3 areas that are really scoring very, very low, they can go straight to those chapters and skip ahead if they need be and address those. Then at the end of every chapter, there are some things that I did that I think are really fairly unique as well. I did 5 Bible studies on each of the 12 topics for that person to read themselves. Because one of the ironies I find, Shellie, is without exception, everybody comes to marriage counseling hoping their spouse will change. You know?
I hear you.
Human nature.
Right.
And so I want them thinking biblically about that topic in their marriage where they're hurting. And then I ask them 5 individual questions to explore about that area in their own life and in their own marriage that they can address, that they can change themselves before they deal with their spouse. 5 Bible studies, 5 questions for introspection. Then I give them 3 discussion questions or interaction activities to do together. And then also I recommend 5 other Christian books if they want to go a mile deep on that one topic area. So those are the tools that the book is constructed around. And just for fun, I start off every chapter with not just a verse, but also a joke.
Oh, there. I like that. That was a nice little twist that you threw in there. I love jokes and quotes, and I think it's how I communicate a lot, because I believe that people respond and it opens up their hearts, and then they can hear what else you have to say. And this sounds like a magnificent resource. No pun intended. I didn't actually mean to pull that out of your book title. It just came out of my head. But what a resource that you were describing there. So much of it sounded like, you could really benefit from, say, for instance, that area where you mentioned you answer it you go through it first, the way you would answer the question, and then you answer for your spouse, or how you assume your spouse would answer. I would think that people are really surprised right there many times. I would think, because
they really are, and it gives them a good baseline to start from, to say, hey, here's the state of our marriage in a very quantified way that is statistically reliable. And then what we find that's very useful, after they go through the book or go through counseling or a seminar, they can retake the test and see how they've improved and grown. And that is very encouraging to couples.
I am sure. I'm going to give that website address again. That was RelationshipHealthScore.com. What a great free resource that you can go there and see where your marriage is, and then go directly to the chapters that would address what's going on with your individual marriage. Dr. Jared Pingleton, it has been a pleasure to have you with me on All Things Southern Live this evening.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure as well, Shellie, and I'm looking forward to being with you in just about a month, I guess.
Yes.
5 weeks, yeah.
It's going to be here before we know it. Now, I'm going to send folks to learn more about your work at FocusOnTheFamily.com. Dr. Jared Pingleton, are you on Facebook? Can they connect with you there, or any social media sites?
Yes, I do have a Facebook, Dr. Jared Pingleton, yes.
Okay, well, y'all can connect with Dr. Jared there. You take care, and thanks for being by All Things Southern Live.
God bless you, Shellie. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Computer trouble. Don't you hate it? This is Shellie from All Things Southern, and when I have computer issues, I call Wintersmith Computers, your local go-to computer retailer. Let Wintersmith help you find just the right machine, and then take a deep breath and let them keep your systems up and running. Bring your problem in or take advantage of their on-site service. It's the only way this bell rolls. Wintersmith Computers, just off I-20 at the corner of Well Road and Cypress Street in West Monroe.
For over 30 years, Simmons Sporting Goods has been outfitting folks for hundreds of miles. With the biggest in-store selection and original price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best price possible. There's over 70,000 square feet filled with nearly 100 stands, thousands of firearms and bows, an acre of camo. You name it, we've got it. You can even get 12 months same as cash and lunch from our Duck Blind restaurant. Visit Simmons Sporting Goods in Bastrop, Louisiana or SimmonsSportingGoods.com.
Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor.
He can make it real in a Chevy.
Save big money on a car or truck. Friendly service, folks you can trust. We put good people behind the wheel. Jim Taylor Chevrolet, making it real. Hey, Louisiana, do you want a great deal? Talk to Jim Taylor, he can make it real.
Rayville, Louisiana. Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Shellie here, belle of All Things Southern, and I love shopping for my grandchildren at the Children's Shop in Monroe and Ruston. With a baby registry, gift wrapping, and layaway service, the Children's Shop makes gift buying a cinch, and their custom-made hair bows makes every little girl feel like the belle of the ball. Discover the Children's Shop.
Now, conveniently located on Tower Drive in Monroe, just right down from Nuke's Eatery there.
Absolutely, and I appreciate them being with us and being a new sponsor
Now,
here at All Things Southern Live.
They're in Ruston, too, aren't they?
They are. They're in Ruston, and I have that address in my head, and it won't come out at this particular moment.
Well, Ruston's not that big.
That's
so
right. You can find it.
You
It's
should be able to
downtown.
just drive around a little. And
Like, ask someone where the Children's Shop is.
and they'll know.
Tell them Shellie was talking about it.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, I've got a fantastic opportunity for everyone.
Really?
Concerning that Heart to Home conference that we were talking about.
Wow.
Are y'all guys ready for this? Everybody likes winning something.
Yeah.
Well, here's an opportunity for you to win. The winner is going to get 2 preferred seating tickets.
Whoa.
With a backstage experience.
Whoa.
To the inaugural Heart to Home conference in West Monroe, Louisiana, February the 6th and 7th. Now, whether you're currently a part of Heart to Home or you have been or you want to be, Mike, all they have to do, listening to this?
I'm listening.
Take a picture at their next gathering of just like you and your girlfriends, you and your buddy, you're just a couple people, whoever that you've gotten together for fun just to enter this contest. Snap a pic.
Okay.
And I mean, people know how to do that these days,
selfie?
right? Snap a selfie.
Okay.
Throw it up on social media with this hashtag.
Okay.
Heart to Home Conference 2015. That is it.
2015. Okay,
if you
got
put the hashtag Heart to Home Conference 2015 on your pretty little picture and throw it up on social media, you may win 2 backstage passes and preferred seating tickets to the Heart to Home Conference. That is a great opportunity for someone.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mike, quit taking pictures of yourself over there. Mike's getting a jump on it.
I can't win.
He's getting a jump on this thing. I've got to tell you this. This is kind of off the record, just me and you. No one else is listening, right?
Shh.
Okay, this is just us.
Yeah.
I have gotten tickled every time we have played the, what is it? The computer, my ad for
Winter Smith? Yeah.
It left me a second. My ad for Winter Smith.
Says
I do know how to say computer.
Pewter trouble.
It says pewter trouble.
It's the audio file is cut off in the beginning for some reason.
So I just want the record to show I do know how to say computer.
Yes.
But it just sounds like I'm saying pewter trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll fix it. It's just one of those little.
Let us just say that whether you have pewter trouble or computer trouble, go to Winter Smith. I love those folks. They fix me up with all my computer problems every time I have one.
Right.
They're on top of it over there.
I hear a lot of good stuff about them.
They are on top of it over there. Mike, I need to tell the folks how to make my barbecue pecans.
All right. Did you bring some to share?
Oh, yeah, I knew there was something else I was going to do
that's
today.
what it was.
I knew
That's
there was
what you
something
thought
else.
about as soon as you left home.
That's
this
what
morning.
it was. Bring Mike's barbecue pecans. No, I talked about it the other day on social media, and everybody's like, how do you make those? And it's not supposed to be that difficult. And so I thought I'll just walk them through it. Okay. So it's really, really simple. And this was Lucy. You remember my mama, late mother-in-law Lucy, one of her recipes. But it's so super easy. Put your little boiler on the stove, okay? And you're going to melt like a half a stick of butter.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of ketchup.
I'm with you. I'm sorry, wait, hold on.
Ketchup.
Did you
This
say
is barbecue pecans.
Did you say ketchup?
Ketchup.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you say butter?
Butter. Mike's writing notes.
Ketchup.
And ketchup so far.
Got it.
Little hot sauce.
And some hot sauce. Okay.
Couple dashes.
All right.
You know what a dash is, right?
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Dash. And, you made me lose my train of thought. Or I made me lose my train of thought.
Couple of dashes of hot sauce.
Okay.
We've got butter, ketchup,
Recap
and hot
for me.
sauce.
Okay. I know what we're missing.
Okay.
You know why my brain left me? That word that I don't say well.
Oh, Worcestershire sauce.
That word.
That one?
Okay. You need a couple dashes of that too.
It's sent in specially from Nicaragua.
The other word that I can't say.
No, it came from New Iberia.
Okay. If we're going to make a list of the words that I can't say, it's going to get long.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Okay. So we're going to melt that on the stove.
Okay.
And then we're going to lay our pecan halves out on like a cookie sheet.
Okay.
Just spread out 2 cups of pecan halves.
On a cookie sheet. Okay.
On a cookie sheet.
All right.
And then we're going to pour all that sauce on there.
Really just going to pour it right on there, huh?
Or we're going to put them in the boiler first, actually, is the way I do it. Stir them up, then pour them out.
Okay. Just pour them out right
Pour them out
there.
right there.
Okay.
And then you just bake them at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And let me tell you, and no more than 20 minutes because they'll burn. Watch them carefully.
Okay, I will.
Watch them carefully. And those things, good snacking for these football games.
Well, it's one of those recipes that just doesn't sound like it would be good.
But it is so good. That it's like a crispy little barbecue taste pecan. Oh, yeah.
Just makes you, did your,
I should have brought you
Nana invent that? Or?
Mama Lucy, did she invent that? I do not know the answer to that. I would not be surprised if she did.
Yeah.
Because she was pretty smart.
Well, that might be
the
something
kitchen.
that came from the motherland. Where are your people from?
Where are my people from? Well, see, this was my mother-in-law, so you should be asking about her, and that's why I have this look on my face like Dixie, where my head's turned sideways, because I don't know where Lucy's I don't know where Dixie's people are from either, but I know where Lucy's people are from.
Okay.
This segment is losing steam.
We'll
Have you noticed?
It's probably something that brought in from the homeland.
Probably.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all we were saying, folks. That's all we were saying. Okay, I need to give y'all a little bit of Southern comfort to take into your work week because it's what I love to do most here on All Things Southern Live. And there's a lot of things I like to do around here, but I like to give you some words that you can consider and think on that have some eternal value.
All right.
So today, what I actually did was kind of reach back in the vault for a moment that I wanted to talk about because it was the birth of mine and Phil's first grandchild. Mm-hmm. And you do know we're spoiling number 5 right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a few years back, but we have met each one of those children with equal fascination. Just imagine, look at them. And one of Phil's favorite things, this is this craziness, but he loves their little shoulders. He will go, look how little their little shoulders are. I know he has a fascination with that. But as we take this short memory walk, what I want y'all to do is consider how our loving Father, who knew each of us before we were fashioned in our mother's womb, looks at us with that same type of fascination that I'm going to describe. Because when it happened to us, you hear people talking about grandchildren and you know they make goofy faces and you know they show pictures and they just lose all sense of decorum in talking about their grandchildren constantly. And you make fun of those kind of people and then you become one of those kind of people. Which is what happened to us. When Emerson Ann Tomlinson was born, she changed everything. Suddenly, I did not think of Carrie as my daughter-in-law. She was Emerson's mommy. Mm-hmm. My son was no longer my son. He was Emerson's daddy. My husband was not Phil anymore. He was Pops, and I was her Keggy. Mm-hmm. Emerson is our princess, and we are her loyal subjects. Emerson became the celebrity and we the ever-present paparazzi. Her every expression elicited a wild scramble as we rushed to capture it on film. And then I remember that when the visit was concluded and her parents would begin to take her to the car, all bundled up for traveling, Phil and I would follow the processional out with a feeling of satisfaction and a little bit of, longing for her next visit before she even pulled out the driveway. I mean, like, think Elvis has left the building. And you won't even come close to how we acted when Emerson left the living room. Among the many changes that Emerson brought to my life was a change in my schedule. Suddenly, I didn't want to see Emerson. I needed to see her. I didn't even have to hold her. It was enough just to look at her face. Imagine, the only thing that Emerson did for our relationship was just accept my adoration. And yet it worked for me, big time. As I was thinking back and considering my aptitude for what I call Emerson gazing, my thoughts, they went to a sweet spiritual analogy. See, we just came through a season that was designed to honor the birth of Christ, the baby that really did change everything. My prayer for the new year is that each of us would do everything we can to make room in every day to spend time with Jesus. Jesus gazing into his life-changing word to embrace the baby who became our Savior and reconciled sinful man to holy God. He remains the most incredible gift of all time, and while the best we can offer in return is our humble adoration, the word tells us that our devotion works for Jesus big time.
Well
you got
said.
your own grandchildren you gaze at,
I know, that's
don't
why
you?
I was
So you were
snickering.
smiling.
I've seen this play out in our family.
You could see that. So
Yep.
How many of those little critters do y'all have between the two of you now?
4.
4. Okay, you're one down on me, or I'm one up on you.
Some-
Got that 5th one.
And they're trying for more. So.
They do keep multiplying,
They
don't
do. They do.
Mike, thanks for keeping it between the ditches over there this evening.
Well, we only, got sidetracked one time. I think we're
Something like a record?
getting there.
Something like that.
Had fun anyway.
We did have a blast. Y'all remember to go and do your little hashtag, Heart to Home Conference 2015 with your pretty little face, and you may win 2 preferred tickets to the Heart to Home Conference.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good. We'll see you next week.
Same time, same place, if the good Lord's willing and the creek doesn't rise. This is Shellie with Hugs for All.